SMT Nation, what is going on, good people? We've got a video for you here today, and we're doing a deep network dive. We're going to be testing Verizon. You'll see it there on this this light pole. They got all their gear up there. I'll describe everything that's up there, all their low band, all their mid band, even their millimeter wave, their cbrs band 48 LTE, even some old 3G stuff. Hey, there's some C band up there. All right, so we got the trifecta. All right, this is Rocky River, Ohio, the home of the Rocky River Pirates. Down here in the back, you'll see AT&T at the top. Dish is right below them. I'll see if I can get you guys some footage here. And it's good stuff to see that they are actually building out their network. I unfortunately cannot test it, though. Not at this time, but I will. I'll get you guys some footage, and we'll do some testing. Here's the T-Mobile site on the adjacent pole for the lights, the stadium lights there. It's got some N41 on there. I don't think it's live, so we'll do some testing to confirm it. Here's Detroit Road for you. All right, and this is a very busy street here in Cleveland, well known. Here's the front of the school. Some footage for you guys there. The lake is probably about 1.5 miles north of here, so pretty close. So we got a few carriers we could test here. We'll see what bands they have. We'll see how it performs. And I think you guys are going to like what you see from a couple carriers. One is pretty disappointing, and we'll show you everything here today. All right, starting first with the AT&T tower site, which is in the back of the stadium there. We're connected to 5G. This is DSS Band 2. And we got about 116 on the downlink, and we're at about 28 or 29 megabits per second on the uplink. Ping times in the 30s. Jitters about 11. Not bad. All right, fair enough. Let's go ahead and pop this sucker into LTE. You'll see the 5G icon is there, upper right hand corner. What were we testing? Around 9 p.m. in the evening. This was a Saturday night as I was making my rounds and headed home, and I was kind of in this neighborhood, so we're testing. 34 ping. We got a 5 jitter, so a little bit better here on 5GE compared to the DSS, but it's negligible. It's not a big difference. You'll see the downlink is very similar, 113 megabits per second. And then the uplink actually a little bit lower, coming in at about 16 megabits per second or 17 megabits. So if you really wanted more uplink, I guess you could rock with the 5G DSS. If not, it's just as good on LTE. No big difference there. Let's mosey on over to the Verizon site. Give you guys a view of what's up there. You'll see all their low band, band 13, band 5, and some old stuff, some old legacy tech here. There's the C band there, and then millimeter wave, and then there's the CBRS band 48. Right, those smaller antennas with their integrated radios. All right, so we're going to be testing here the same phone. All right, so we'll be testing Verizon here, and we'll start on the 5G. You would think that you would be defaulting to millimeter wave, right? I don't know. It would not. You will see it's connected to 5G UW, but it's defaulting to N77. It is connecting to the C-band. It's not connecting to the millimeter wave. I would think that it would, maybe because it's Nokia gear and it hasn't been switched to Sammy yet, Samsung, and I don't know, some configurations on the back end from Verizon. We're going to monitor this. I'm going to do some investigation and see what the business is there. But this is definitely C-band. We got 501 down, and we got about 50 up. And looking at the ping times in the 40s, not great, and then jitter at around 7 milliseconds. All right, so that's the capacity there that they have had. And I wanted to run a second test only to confirm that it was indeed connected to the C-band and it stayed connected to the C-band. All right, and I don't know what it is. I don't know exactly what Verizon has in terms of like which connection should default. You would think that the millimeter wave would be the default if you're within range of it. And then the fallback would be the C-band if you can't connect it to the millimeter wave. So I'm kind of surprised. Again, I'm going to look into this and I'm going to see what changes here. 505 down, 45.8 up, 40 millisecond ping, 6 millisecond jitter. All right, so that's your test on N77 C-band. We got a 60 megahertz channel. All right, let's see if the CBRS is active. I've been back to the site before. I've been there. I've tested these sites. I tested the millimeter wave. It was active. I got like 2.6 megs down, 100 up. I've tested the CBRS here before. Those upgrades happened a couple of years ago. All right, so I've tested this before. Lo and behold, the band 48 CBRS LTE is connected, is working, and it's just about as good as the N77. I think Verizon typically uses somewhere in the neighborhood of like 60 or 70 megahertz of CBRS here. 425 down, 32 up, 40 ping. We got jitter in the teens there. We'll go ahead and run another test. So they got like 60, 70 megahertz of CBRS band 48 that they use, and the N77 uses 60 megahertz. So no surprise, we're seeing very similar downlink results, but we're not seeing the same uplink results. All right, the C-band situation better for uplink. And in my estimation, I've seen Verizon's N77 and T-Mobile's N41 seem to have the best uplink of all the mid-band 5G channels. AT&T's got the lowest on average on their 5G plus N77. You'll see here 458 down, got about 25 on the up, ping times in the 30s, and jitter around 7. All right, so that's the CBRS band 48. Let's go ahead and test the T-Mobile now, and let's see how it does. And actually, it didn't perform well. It actually failed. It was like at 4 megabits per second. This is 5G, by the way. All right, it's connecting to the low band 5G. This is probably 15 megahertz of N71 and whatever LTE carriers it can connect to, and it's just not very good. So it's just basically failed that test. So I ran another one, but it didn't really change much. 79 ping, we got about 20 millisecond jitter. Those metrics aren't very good. And then the downlink at about 3.4 megabits per second, and you'll see the uplink is a true struggle. And when I looked at the site, and you'll see video footage of it, they do have an upgrade on there. They have N41. It's Nokia gear. It's up there, and I'll get you guys. I'll show you the image. I just don't think it's active. I wasn't able to connect. So I'll come back and I'll test this at another time. There it is, failing again. This time the uplink. All right, so I'm going to turn 5G off. Let's get LTE on and see if it's any better, and see if there's some semblance of a working connection if you're a T-Mobile customer here in this area in Rocky River, Ohio, over here by the high school stadium. All right, so good for them. They did hold it down with at least some LTE, so that supports the network and the customers while they get that N41 live. It's going to need to be turned on. It's going to need to be optimized. It's going to need some tuning. My home site's being optimized and tuned right now. It should be basically done at this point. I've got more footage on that so I can show you guys, how you can expect to see those types of upgrades and what it takes, in terms of time. But here you go, 48 down, 7 up. All right, so you do have some access if you're a T-Mobile customer on this area, but it's going to be rough. I put it back into 5G, and I wanted to show you guys how it performs as a true connection, right? Like actually testing it, not just speed testing it. So we're running an NPerf test. We're going to do this. It comes with a full speed test. Then here it's doing all of its browsing tests. And then the next piece is going to be the video resolution playback test, 360p, 720p, 1080p. All right, and then it does like an aggregate score for browsing, aggregate score of video streaming, and then an NPerf score. All right, so we got 4 down, we got 4 up as the maxes. 20,000 score. That's the lowest endpoint score I've ever seen. Their 5G is very problematic. The browsing and video ratings were like in the 50s. Those are really bad scores. So if one wasn't inclined, or someone didn't know that they could do this, you would want to turn your 5G off and get it into LTE to get a usable connection here. I'm going to run the LTE connection through the NPerf, and we'll see if it's any different. I would assume that it is. The scores from Ookla before seemed much better. And here it is, right? 76 for browsing, 91 for streaming, and a much better endpoint score. There you guys have it. Comment down below what you thought of the testing. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. Love to hear what you guys have to say. You are the voice of the people of the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Please do like, share, and subscribe for more, and turn on that bell notifications icon to never miss an upload. Links in the description for my Twitter handle. All business inquiries can go to the Gmail address, and my Patreon page is linked below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all on the next video. Peace.